Hello everyone, my name is Phương and I'm the president of Genius Star Business Club Generation Zero. Our club aims to provide an academic platform for students who are interested in finance, economics, and business, a chance to communicate, share, and grow together. We want to spread the passion for these subjects and contribute to our community by sharing the knowledge we learned from school or from outside competitions to students who lack the opportunity to these subjects and learn them in a systematic way. So let's get started on our first topic, which is modeling the economy. Our table of contents have four parts. The first part is key definitions I'm going to explain and what you need to know before we dive into the subject. Also, next, we're going to learn about the circular flow model, the leakages and interjections, and lastly is the interdependence between economic decision makers. So some key terms we need to learn. First of all, the economy is divided into two sectors, the private and public sector. So the private sector is the part of economy run by individuals and businesses. And this sector will be focusing on profit maximization by through trading and selling. The second one is public sector, which is the part of the economy controlled by the government. This sector will be focusing on providing needs such as healthcare, medical care, education to the population. And also we have two kinds of markets. The first one is the resource market, where the inputs are sold to businesses such as labor, raw materials. And the second one is the product market, where the outputs are sold to households. So now we're going to move on to the next part, which is the circular flow model. So what is a circular flow model? It's a simplified model of the economy that demonstrates how money moves. And there are going to be two flows. First one is the real flow. It's the flow of products and services. And the second flow is going to be the money flow. There are going to be two markets in the circular flow model. The first one is the resource market. And this is where all the companies and the businesses will gain their inputs. The second one is going to be the product market. Where the finished goods and services are going to be exchanged. And then we're going to have two sides here. The household, the individuals. And then on the other side, we're going to have firms. So let's start off with the real flow, which is the flow of factors such as goods and services. So households and individuals are going to provide resources to the resource market, and the resource market will also provide resources to the firms. After the firms gain these resources, they're going to manufacture the raw materials into finished goods and services, and that's what they're going to provide to the product market and services. And the product market will be the ones who distribute and sell them back to the individuals and the households. So that's the real flow. And now we're going to move on to the money flow. So after the households and individuals sell their labor and resources to the resource market, they're going to receive in return income. After the households and individuals have received income, they are going to have money to spend. on products. This will help firms gain revenue. And the firms will be able to pay back the resource in market. And these is called costs. So there's going to be a fifth entity in this circular flow model in the middle, and that entity is, of course, the government. Ooh, what is that? Government. So let's continue with the real flow. The government are going to provide households and individuals with public goods. They're also going to provide the firms with public goods as well. Other than goods, they're also going to provide households and individuals with welfare and transfer payments. In addition, they will also provide firms with subsidies, or you can say government grants. So what does the government receive in return? Tax. Not only to households and individuals, the government are also going to provide and receive from the resource market and the product market. They're going to buy resources in the resource market, and they'll also get goods and services from the product market. And in turn, that's government spending. After I have explained the circular flow model, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is leakages and interjection. So what are leakages? Leakages are money that will leave the circular flow of income and thus reduce the amount available for consumption. These include savings, taxes, and imports. So interjections are the additions to the circular flow that will increase the GDP. Going to have a really important formula for the GDP. GDP equals consumption plus investment plus government spending and plus net export, which is equal to export equals to export minus import. And that's going to be the formula for the GDP. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the interdependence between economic decision makers. So what does interdependence means? It's the mutual reliance between entities where the economic activity and decisions of one is going to impact the others. As you can see in the circular flow model, households depend on firms for income, firms depend on the households for labor and demand, and the government depends on taxes so that they can have government spending. So let's have a simple question. Is that when households increase their savings, who will be the one who is directly impacted? Is going to be the firms. Why? Because households, when they increase the savings, that means they'll have less spending and that will affect the revenue on firms. And that means that the firms will also have less supply, thus employment decreases and the wages will also decrease. So that is an example of interdependence. Put into application, you can try adjusting things and ask yourself questions like, what will happen when households and individuals increase their saving, increase their spending, or decrease something? And you can also maybe try out the question, if firms increase their supply, what will happen to the employment level? Overall, that's the whole video for today. Please ask in the comments if you have any questions. I know that maybe I'm not a really good teacher and I can be a bit messy, but I'm open to answering any questions and you can contact our club through our Facebook page. And if you're interested, you can join as a member. Thank you so much for your time and I hope that you found this interesting.